Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today we're presenting the all-new Nissan Interstar. This one is decked out in all of the WHG livery and just the way you guys want it. Fantastic looking van. We are going to look at a few different things, elements on this vehicle. One of the things that we want to cover in this video is the FLOWER acronym. That is fuel, lights, oil, water, electrics and rubber. So starting off with fuel on the new Nissan Interstar. Our fuel filler cap is on the passenger side. You can see it's clearly marked with diesel. To begin with, this is what we'd have. The keys would look like this. You have 3 buttons on the key with a little flick out for your actual ignition key. Top buttons to unlock, middle buttons to lock, and then you can unlock the load area separately. So we'd unlock the vehicle. To relock the vehicle, we'd press the lock button once. That will lock the vehicle up. Press the lock button twice. We get 3 flashes of the indicator to tell us that the vehicle is now deadlocked. The filler cap is located on the passenger side of the vehicle. Just open up the passenger door and we get access to the filler cap. Diesel in the top, AdBlue in the bottom. It has a 20-litre AdBlue tank and we estimate that to be good for a range of around 6,000. In front of the vehicle here, the Interstar does feature a daytime running light that will run all the way along the side of the headlamp unit. That is a LED daytime running light, acts as your indicator when we're using the indicators. Headlamps are actually all LED as well. So what we want to do is we want to check the operation of those, as well as lower fog lamp unit on both sides. The Interstar also features an indicator light on the end of the mirror arm. So to check all of our lights are working, we're just going to enter the cabin. Guys, don't forget to use your tracker to switch off your tracker unit, otherwise you'll get the beeping. And we're just going to take the lights over to the manual mode away from automatic. So that's just up here, that's your main beam, and your side beams are the lower one. So we'll have it on the main beam. We're also going to activate the front fog lights and the rear fog lights. Now that all of our lights are on, you can see that they're on just here as well on the screen in front of us. We're going to switch on our hazard lights. You can see that the hazard lights are showing that they're active. You notice that there's an indicator. There's also an indicator. One of the LED lights is now turned into an indicator. Headlamps, the indicators on the rear of the Interstar, square box, and then the actual rear light is on, and it's the same for this side. Interstar does feature a high level brake light. So we just want to ensure that all of those lights are all working. So our next step is to check out oil and water, and the way we do this is by going under the bonnet. So we open the passenger side door. Underneath the passenger side here, we do have a little pull tab. We pull on the tab. We can now see that the bonnet is slightly ajar. Just above the S is a push release. So we push that to the one side. We're using the arm along here. So we've just used that to prop the bonnet up. And what we're looking at underneath the bonnet here is we're checking our oil. So if we need to top up oil, we'd go in through here. And our actual dipstick is, and there's our dipstick. So all we do is to check our oil, unscrew, we can pull out the dipstick, and we're just checking our oil level. Wipe this off, and then check the oil level. Dipstick back into place. The dipstick does push into place and then twists to lock itself in. Then we want to check our water levels. So that's our filler cap. We just want to make sure that the water is up to the neck here. From about here, we drop bonnet, and that now seals the bonnet. You can see we've got a nice flush fit. So now we're going to check the electrics. It's also classed as the entrance because we're going to get into the vehicle in just a second to check all of this. Opening up the driver's side door, and we're greeted by fantastic looking interior of the van. Entry point, we're going to maintain 3 points of contact. So for myself, that'll probably be a hand on here, my foot as it's the second point of contact, and then I'm going to probably pull myself in using the cup holder here. So maintaining 3 points of contact as we enter the vehicle. Now that we're inside the cabin, we can close the door, and we're greeted by a fantastic laid out interior. First thing we're going to do to make yourself comfortable is there's a little pull lever located just here. You can pull down on that. That will allow us to adjust the steering wheel how we like. So we can go in and out, reach and height. Once we're satisfied with the position of the steering wheel, we can pull the lever up and lock it into place. So now that we've adjusted that steering wheel to the way we like, to check our electrics, pop the key into the ignition, 2 turns. We'll start off with the windows. Electric one-touch opening windows and closing, both operational on both sides, so driver and passenger side. So we can see that working. Then we can adjust our mirrors using the left or right button. So we're going to adjust the right side mirror to begin with, and we're just using the directional arrows to point where we want the mirror arms to point. Once we're finished with that, look over to the passenger side, and we can also adjust the passenger side mirror. Once you're satisfied, we leave the lever back into the neutral position, checking that all of the electrics are working on the interior of the cabin. So we're going to activate the hazard lights. Hazard lights are on. We're just going to move away from the automatic light feature to headlamp unit mode. So our headlamp unit is on, and that is. We're also going to check heating and ventilation function. So that's the power of our fan on the left hand side. Temperature in the middle, we can set that to automatic. We can switch our aircon on or off. We'll just turn that down slightly, and we can adjust the direction of the fans using the lever here. So all of our electrics do seem to be working. The Nissan Interstar does feature a 10.5-inch touchscreen radio control box. Tire pressure monitor is also indicating that our tire pressures are okay. Phones to this for wireless Android Auto or CarPlay. Vehicle screen itself reads out a eco score rating out of 100 based on acceleration, speed, anticipation and gear changes. And if we were to put the vehicle into reverse, rear view camera with the sensors front and rear, we can deactivate the sensors using that button just there. So on your reverse gear, guys, we do have a external bleeper. If we want to disengage the external bleeper, put the vehicle into reverse twice quite quickly, and that will disengage your reverse. We've completed our electric checks. Our final check will be tyres. So we want to ensure that first of all we are at the correct tyre pressure, just to make sure that there's no damage or excessive wear in the tyre. Finally, we want to use a tread depth gauge to check that the tyres are legal, and to take a moment to inspect for any visible damage such as tears or punctures. While issues like this are often flagged by the tyre pressure monitoring system displayed on the infotainment screen we showed you earlier, it's always good practice to check manually. Also ensure that the spare wheel is securely mounted underneath the rear of the van, and that the toolkit is in place beneath the driver's seat. Now that concludes our flower checks. Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoy your new vehicle. And we're just going to show you the rear of your vehicle. So we're going to unlock the vehicle, open the rear door, and to open the other side, little release here. The Interstar does feature 270-degree opening rear doors, so we're just going to demonstrate that to you now. You can pull slightly forward on the door, release the door all the way around. So if we're letting passers-by come past us, as well as being able to use our load area. And it's the same for this side. The Interstar Tekna does feature a step to get in and out of your vehicle, grab handle on both sides. We also have a 12-volt socket in the load area. Pull down on that, that gives you access to your 12-volt. The side loading door. Once we've opened up the side loading door, we do have quite a big opening. That's a 1.3 meter opening. Toolbox, and then your DEB system is just here as well.